Hi, I'm Alan Langford, and this is What the Fund, episode 11, a show where we take a lighthearted look at crowdfunded projects. So let's get into it. We'll start with Findster. It's a pretty good idea. It's the first GPS tracker for kids and pets that doesn't incur monthly fees. This was a successful campaign that ran over the summer. They raised almost $67,000 on a $50,000 campaign. It's an RF device that uses a proprietary protocol, offers a 1 kilometer range between modules. They also offer a base station, and they say that extends the range to 2 kilometers. That's the only thing that's really funny about the project. They don't mention much about their RF. They say it runs on a proprietary protocol, but they don't mention what the frequency range is or anything like that. Because it doesn't require a radio license, it's very likely in the same band as your average cordless telephone. So I know that the more recent frequencies, you can get about 1 kilometer range out of a cordless phone. So I suspect that that's actually what they're doing, and they're layering in their own protocol, probably spread spectrum or something like that, to avoid interference with cordless phones and many other devices that use that frequency range. So the configuration is that there's a parent module, and then you can get pet modules and kid modules, and those modules then talk to each other. The parent module has a Bluetooth interface that links to an app that runs either on an iPhone or an Android phone. And so as the kids and pets are running around doing things, they're sending signals back to the parent module. The parent module is reporting that information to the app. And so you're not incurring cell charges and all that sort of thing in order to get GPS data back into your app. Now with the base station, not only do you extend range, but it looks like you can have these modules shared across base stations. So in their dreams, when the entire neighborhood has got a mesh of base stations, this information can be reported back. So as your kid goes down the block, the signal would be handed off from base station to base station, and you'd still be able to get data about where they were. It's a little 1984, but if you're concerned about where your kids are, it's a decent solution. If you're concerned about where your pets are, buy a leash. So they've also got activity monitors and fall detection. The activity monitors for the pets and the fall detection for the kids. It's not really clear where the two modules differ, aside from the fact that the packaging is a little bit different and the presentation is a little bit different. But from a hardware viewpoint, I can't really tell what distinguishes one module over the other. But let's talk about the kid module. They say that you can use these devices to go to the park and have your kid run around, and you can enjoy your book. To quote the website, "We want to ensure your comfort. Imagine a sunny day reading a book in the park, but you can't take your eyes off your child. Now you can. Findster has a fall detection alert. If your child stumbles and falls, Findster will let you know." Because that's what we need, more tools for disconnected parenting. So I guess this is what one of those alerts might look like. Now, the other thing that it could do is maybe they could team up with some of the other biometric projects that we've seen on crowdfunding, so that you could determine whether or not your child was severely injured in a fall, or just maybe a little hurt, and that way, if the chapter of the book you're reading is really interesting, you don't actually have to disturb yourself to deal with your child. You can wait, but if they're injured, obviously you'd want to put the book away and go and take care of your child. So after the successful campaign that ended in the middle of the summer, Findster launched another campaign, flexible funding with a $500 goal, basically just a vehicle for people who missed the first campaign to get in and buy some of these modules and base stations and so on and so forth. This campaign is at $500 for the minimum, and they've got runs until 22nd of September. And they've pulled in about 15,000 or so. I expect they're going to pull in a fair bit more. It looks like a pretty decent product overall. What's funny is that they don't mention another major application of this technology, which is parents with dementia. If Uncle Louie's got Alzheimer's and he's wandered off, it's really embarrassing going down the street, knocking on everybody's door, asking if Uncle Louie's in the backyard. So with Friendster, you'll be able to just look it up on your phone, figure out where Louie is, and get him back in time for dinner. So that's it for Friendster. I've put a link to the project in the description of this video down below. Go and check it out if you're interested. Okay, so now it's time for a quick hit. Unfortunately, I only have the search page for this project. The project title was Social Network. The product description, the brief description on the search page was Social Network. You go to the project and it says, I will build a social network. What's interesting about it is that the campaign was looking for $30,000. Obviously not enough to build a social network, not even close. It was 2 days underway, and on that one sentence description, along with that image of like a gazelle or something, the funding was at $9,700. Does that make sense to you? 2 days in, one sentence description, almost $10,000. Didn't make a lot of sense to me. So I waited for a couple of days and I went back to check it out, and it was gone. It was erased. Then it hit me. $9,700 is an interesting number. It's just under the $10,000 threshold that gets the U.S. Treasury Department interested in transfers of money. And you think, hey, maybe this was just a money laundering project. So what's the lesson here? If you're using Indiegogo to launder your money, you gotta be at least a little smart about it. Don't set up a campaign, especially a flexible funding campaign that's got absolutely no merit, and then drop 10 grand into it over 2 days. Take your time. Take 45 or 50 days. Make sure you got a bunch of people who are donating, or you could even try to make the campaign look interesting. That way, when you run off with the money, you can run off with a bunch of other people's money too. So the quick hits just keep on coming. This one is called Kitten Power. Now, that's not the name of the campaign. The name of the campaign is New Phone, New Life. The campaign really isn't worth discussing. It's some intern whose phone broke and he wants to raise $500 in a flexible funding campaign to buy a new phone. I guess going back to Mama just isn't going to work this time. So, how much do you think this guy's managed to raise of his $500 goal? Yeah, that's what I thought. I figured, he's not going to get anything for this. But he's actually managed to raise $275. And I couldn't quite figure it out. But then I went back and I took a look at the image he used for the search page. Yep, it's Cutie Kitten Power. So, then if you have a lame Indiegogo campaign and you really want to give it that extra boost, consider the kitten. Alright, that's it for episode 11 of What the Fund. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. Always interested in having comments in the comment section down below here on the YouTube channel. If you can see a little red dot up here, then you haven't subscribed yet. Click on that, subscribe, and you'll get updates when I get some new episodes out. New episodes are coming. Thanks for watching.